Have I never forgotten?
Just get it right this time.
Yeah, okay, so anyways, in traditional visionary fashion. All right, I am your table topics master, and the role of the table topics master is to give anybody in the room the golden opportunity to give a 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech, typically based on the topic of the meeting. And we covered so much about Junkanoo so far, but I don't think the actual title was said, or maybe I'm missing something. We didn't say it. The actual title, the actual topic of the meal theme is the evolution of Junkanoo, correct?
Sure.
That's what it, that's what it said in writing, though, right?
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
So I thought, how can we talk about the actual evolution of Junkanoo? And we're not talking about politics, we're talking about culture. And the way how culture and the way how culture actually evolved is through meaning. And meanings change over time. Like, for instance, Toastmaster Miles.
What's up?
Okay, listen, can you pick up that desk behind you?
Yeah, this one?
Yeah. I can pick it up and hold it in the same fashion like I am right now. Okay?
Like a sheep.
No, like, I mean, like the same way I'm holding my.
Doesn't touch the ground.
Right? Exactly. Like a shield. Or like a goat skin drum. Can you feel it?
Hi.
Oh, really? Oh,
No, you can be, just not too loud.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No
My
problem.
fault. Okay, so you feel the flow just off of that beat alone, something catches you right in the spirit off of that beat alone. So with that being said, I have a question. What is the meaning of Junkanoo music for you?
What is the meaning of Junkanoo music to me?
Yeah.
You can put that down, by the way.
You can.
I feel like that gives me some confidence. I took a class on Junkanoo history and culture. I took the last semester. What?
Yeah, I took it myself. I took it as well.
Oh, cool.
It's a really cool class.
I would fail.
Right, that's good.
So it can't be a little awkward with the table. You know? What Junkanoo means to me, I'm just gonna take my answer from that class, because I did a class for those that are in there on Junkanoo history at UB. The meaning of Junkanoo to me is a throwback to a rebellious spiritual culture pretty much imported from Africa by the slaves as a statement against the colonial system, and a sense of escapism from the unfair realities of post-colonial life.
Yes, that's correct.
That would be my answer.
Okay, terrific. Oh. I couldn't find what I really needed to throw on this next question, but I think I found the perfect person. So Toastmasters Daniel Jones, come on down. Okay, so everybody, as you know, I gave him the name, actually Tamaz gave him the name Fur Marlin, but that was shortened because I gave him the name Flamingo Marlin. So as our club ornament of Bahamian culture, I want you to give a 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech of what Junkanoo art means to you.
Junkanoo art. Woo! Self-expression, unity, ingenuity, and energy. Junkanoo means to me, being able to express itself not just through your words, but through your craft. Working hard for a common goal of bringing together the overall vision of your team. And of course, once you visually bring it together through your costume, which is your headpiece, your chest piece, sometimes your shoulder piece, sometimes your skirt, sometimes some fancy boots, then you come to the streets with dance. So now it goes from visual art to performance art. Such elegance, such uniqueness, such creativity, but yet chaos at times. So Junkanoo art means to me creativity with a hint of randomness. Thank you.
Okay, so for the next question, I want to do a little bit of exercise. So Toastmaster, you are can you please stand up? All right, now come with me, right? Put a little mark into it. That's do your best Junkanoo related marks with it. Okay,
Let's go, Mr. UB.
exactly. Let's go, Mr. UB. Yeah. All right. Yeah, exactly. Keep the ego.
This is practice for stage. In your belly, who in the morning, who in the evening, who at summertime, eat in the morning. Roots music sweet. Roots music sweet.
Oh, okay. We're not trying to have okay. You
I can remember that.
Okay.
I can remember that.
You get a camera. All right. So please. All right. Now you feel okay. So come on, right behind the lecture. Actually. Okay. So you just did an extremely miniature version of what people do up and down Bay Street for many years. That's plenty of exercise, plenty of energy, plenty of motion, and plenty of pop. So with that, I ask you, what does the march of Junkanoo mean to you?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Thomas. So before I let me assume though. Let me ask me the final.
With your hands in your pocket.
No, I want the thing of course, like this.
You did pageant.
Yeah, the nigga boss.
At a pageant and trying to win?
You know what I mean, right?
You're right.
Okay.
No, you're right. Do it. I know exactly what you mean. Go ahead.
I'm judging.
Say the question again.
Okay, after we just did that miniature version, what does the actual march of Junkanoo mean to you?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Toastmaster. Well, I feel as though the march of Junkanoo represents the vigor and determination of those in the Junkanoo groups. It represents their unity and their togetherness to come together and march the streets of Nassau to display the vibrant, colorful, and creative costumes of their Junkanoo groups. I commend each Junkanoo group, whether they be A or B, for giving it their all and showing the determination in completing the lap, whether it be 1 or 2, because it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task to carry a 50-pound plus costume, Bay and Shirley Street. So I commend everyone, whether they be young, old, A group, B group, Saxons or Saxons. I commend the amazing people, those in the Junkanoo group, for participating every year. Thank you.
Okay, terrific. And now something to commemorate the last the last portion of Junkanoo that I feel is there, but it's my least favorite. So I think, yeah, great idea. Toastmaster Nestor Williams and Toastmaster Johan Atkinson, come here, please. Like, just come here for a second. I did a version. I did a version of this in Luminaries, and I can't wait to see how this turns out tonight. Please, turn to the audience. Okay, everybody. By a show of hands, who believes that Ernesto has the better hairstyle?
I don't wanna say.
Who has the better hairstyle?
Oh, the senior drawer.
Can I explain why?
No,
No, like that, why?
No. No. Wait. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so. Looks like we didn't have an exact actual vote, but nonetheless, Toastmaster, actually, wait a minute, we have a guest in here. That is terrific. So, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, Toastmaster Turnquest, can you hear me? Toastmaster Turnquest.
Well, he said yes. 7:32, yes.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Turnquest, it would be a great honor if you turned on your mics and explained to us what is the competition of the competition of Junkanoo mean to you. Yeah, sure. I was hoping one of you won best hair, but we'll probably redo
You
that.
think with the Johan? I like real awards.
I don't even know if that's just a roast to me, but like.
No. It's just not worth the effort.
Okay.
Toastmaster Turnquest,
Yeah.
your question is, explain the competition of Junkanoo.
No. her
Oh,
question
sorry.
is- her
What does
question-
the competition of Junkanoo mean to you?
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
Good night again. Thank you for the question, Toastmaster Khalil. The competition of Junkanoo, you can't speak about it without speaking to the rivalry of Junkanoo itself. You know, you have Saxons versus Valley versus Roots, and it's just a breath of fresh air to know that there's a sense of camaraderie amongst the people. The competition itself just stirs up this energy amongst the crowd when you go there on New Year's morning or Boxing Day. And I think that the competition for me, it just speaks to the passion and the united front of the people that we are together amidst whoever wins. And we are always going to stand together. Just like in the flag, which is black, the black represents the strength of the people. So it represents to me our strength in togetherness. Thank you.
All right. That was terrific. Okay, well. Whether it be about the music, the marching, the art.
Speak a little louder, please.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Whether it be about the music, the marching, the art, or the competition, Junkanoo will forever be evolving, and with evolution comes meaning, and if we keep the meaning.
Maintain the volume for me, please.
Huh?
Maintain the volume.
Yeah. Okay, sure. And if we keep the meaning of Junkanoo alive, we will never lose sight of our own culture and our own footing. And I can't wait to see how the culture grows, but until then, this has actually been the table topic session, so if we don't have a chairperson.
I'll go with.
We'll take a moment to admire some Junkanoo music as we wait Toastmaster George's return. And let me share it as well. So Toastmaster Minutes. Oh, I saw that hand clap, Toastmaster Minutes. And Toastmaster Turnquest can appreciate it as well.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, you're right. I didn't remember the class. Yeah, make it more.
Okay. In honor of Toastmaster Turnquest, Valley.
And
Yes. We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
Mr.
Hey.
Chairman, we're waiting on you.
So now it's our time for our prepared speakers. But of course, a few more questions. This is going to be double points. Which group became a national medium
Trying to do it now.
when they debuted a multicolored bird on Bay Street and then leave it there?
That was the same time. Rock, paper, scissors.
Just give me this.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Toxins.
There's a tie. Wait, someone away. That was double, so you actually in the lead by 1 point now.
Wait,
Ouch,
wait,
he had
wait,
three,
now
and
wait,
he had
two-
four.
two- she
Yeah,
got two.
3, and that was
Yeah.
double.
Two six.
So you got 2.
Two six.
So now you get 5.
He got 2
What?
at the
Or you
double.
got 2 more times.
No, it was 2 at the, you got double on the 2 questions, not the very first one you answered
This
correct.
question is now.
So that was 4 plus 1 makes 5. That's what he's saying.
No, it's plus 4.
You have 2.
Times, so
instead
1
of
times
1
2.
plus 2, so
1 times 2 is 2.
No, that means double the points you make out.
Oh, no. Only on those questions you got right at that time, yeah.
Liam. You know, this one's gonna be worth 10 points. This is gonna be the final question. DT, should I do 4 or 5? 4? Name 4 A groups.
4 A groups. Who are the Valley Boys, the Saxons, the
Three.
One Family, and I guess they are an A group. They got disqualified.
Oh, problem with that. It's the problem that you chose those 4.
Pressure.
Do we accept music makers as a so that's
10 points.
10 points. So taking the lead and winning the game is PM.
No, shit, the Saxons.
Should have been faster.
You are not remembering City of Gold.
Right. So let's now come to a wonderful session where it's time for our prepared speeches. What? First up, we have the very vibrant, talented, and skilled speaker himself, with the voice of an angel, especially when he sings at those high notes. And when he laughs so loud that you can hear him in his landlord's apartment. But I'm speaking about none other than the good, distinguished Toastmaster Ernesto G. Unit Williams. Who's gonna help us introduce our first speaker? Who's gonna help me introduce our first speaker? Who's going to help me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, it is a joy for me to bring forth the first speaker of the evening. This gentleman is so incomparable, so outstanding, so phenomenal in every which way that they couldn't even give him feathers to throw on his Junkanoo costume. They did the unthinkable and gave him several thousand costumes to wear all at once, to the point where they amalgamated into his defense force, my apologies, correctional services uniform. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for my mentee and my incredible, awesome, protecting the world from prisoners, Toastmaster Walcott Sand.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have a lovely presentation for you this evening on a speech I gave at our meeting before marketing and service. So
Never mind.
as you can see on the screen, we have MVP, 3 letters. And as we move to the next slide and the following slides, we will introduce what that stands for. Now, I started speaking with a bit of a drawl, a bit of a drag. And from the look of most of your faces, you had no interest in my speech. It sounded like I had no purpose, or as the word on the screen says, I had no motivation. For in this picture, it depicts someone being pushed forward by a finger. The motion sends them in an uncontrolled forward motion. As we move on to the next slide, we will explore 3 points based around motivation. Our first point that is based around motivation says no gas, no movement. This point is based on the topic gas in your car. We all know in order for a car to move, it must have gas inside of it. Unless you want to do manual labor and push it. Cars run on gas or fuel in general, be it diesel or pure gas. We have some cars that run on electricity, but we're not talking about that this evening. Just like gas in your car, motivation is the fuel for all of our aspirations in life. It helps us to focus, it helps us to move forward. Our second point says, press the gas pedal. Although you may be in a car and it has gas, your car is going nowhere, even if it's on, unless you press that gas pedal. Because only when that gas pedal is pressed can you go forward or backward. With motivation, it works in the same way. How you may ask? I'm motivated to become Mr. UB. But without proper planning, without proper time management, without the proper materials necessary to accomplish that aspiration, I cannot become Mr. UB. I may have other competitors that are putting in more time in research, that are sharpening their talents, their skills, while I'm just there saying, hey, I'm going to be Mr. UB. I have gas or I have motivation, but I'm not going anywhere with that motivation. Our third point says, make sure the car is in drive. So your car is on, you have gas, and you're pressing the gas pedal, but still, no movement, no progress forward or backward. With your car in drive, you can move forward. With my motivation, in the proper timing, planning, and preparation, I can become Mr. UB. I can beat my opponent, the esteemed Mr. Johan Hutchison. If I just put more time into practicing my dance routine. Because we all know he can't dance. So I put in tireless effort planning my dance routines. And I go up on the stage and I wow the fans. Not only am I showing them my motivation, but I'm showing them the endless effort and planning I put into that routine. Moving on to our next slide, you will see another picture.
Moving on to our next slide.
Sorry.
The next slide shows you something that I'm wearing, a pair of glasses. And above that, it has the word vision. Now, when you think of the word vision, we're not talking about the superhero with the infinity gem in the middle of his forehead. We're talking about actually looking through your natural eyes or a pair of medical apparatus and seeing something clearly, not just a blurry figure. Moving on to our first point on vision. Make sure you're seeing clear. What this means is, although you're looking at something, if you're squinting or you're not close enough, you cannot actually see what it is. You have to make sure that you're able to identify whatever it is that you're looking at. Our second point states, focus on one thing at a time. Just like me in my speech, what I'm giving right now, if I had combined everything into one concept, you would not be able to tell head or tails from what I'm saying. You have to categorize and separate things that you're doing or looking at. Our third point says, find important details and make notes. What that basically means is, let's take this classroom, for instance. This classroom is a picture. There are a lot of interesting things in this classroom relating to our Visionaries meeting. Look around the classroom and find the most important thing. For instance, our club banner. Make a note of that. It identifies us and it gives you basic information on what is happening during the meeting. And moving on to our next slide. We have a picture of a woman here struggling. As we go on to the next slide. Perseverance. Next slide, please. The topic, are we there yet? The first point says, how bad do you want it? With perseverance, no matter the challenges or anything that you face, once you persevere, you will be able to overcome and succeed. Our second point says, what price are you willing to pay? When it comes down to persevering through any trial or tribulation, there has to be sacrifices that are made. Our third point, just keep swimming. I know we've all heard that line before. To me, that line means, even though I'm underwater, even though I have no air, once I keep swimming, eventually I will make it to the top and I will be where air is once more. Our fourth and final point, I can do all things. It's supposed to say Christ, but it says Christmas. Through Christ, who strengthens.
That's crazy.
It's a very motivational scripture verse that most people use inside their daily lives. Basically, to me, that means that although I may be getting hated on, people are throwing tomatoes at me. Once I still have the strength to persevere, excuse me, I'll be able to get through any challenge. And that brings us to our last slide, which is a video. After your MVP journey, you can say with a proud face that you did it. Thank you.
Do I play this? Don't play it.
What?
The end there.
We can do all things through Christmas. The true origin establishes the database worship the sun. So we're talking about that. I think the science was such a very inspiring speech. And could help me welcome our next speaker and our very talented BPE. Don't sit down. That's BPE.
Please announce the next speaker. Chair.
All right, so you music.
No one prepares for these things anymore.
That's why you travel. Our second and final one of many products. Time. When he speaks, the mind started to think such an energy that address me. No, I'm not thinking about I speak of no one over anyone. Toastmasters for love. Awesome. Ever.
All right, you feel better, my brother? Yeah, that felt good, right in the spirit. Actually, fun fact, Michael Jackson used to call Chris Tucker.
Coming through like
Michael Jackson used to call Chris Tucker Christy Call. Like that was his nickname. Hey, Christmas.
Oh, thanks for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, and I watched the video, any of you boys get out, say, yeah, I know kind of my club, not my Christmas. Even if we end up talking some money. Well, he's rooting tonight, he's rooting to the content. I thought that's what he's saying. It's like, as I saw those shady.
Pause.
I mean, I just wanted to bring up a nickname, but thank you for the deep explanation. That was,
Point of order.
that was hard.
How long are you speaking for?
Oh, I'll be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. Let me get my. Okay,
Oh, never mind, he's going to.
okay, cool, I can.
Because he's awesome.
Alright. That is so cool.
No, when we start the slideshow, and then you want to reshare the presentation.
Start the slideshow.
Yep.
And then.
Mind you, this is how we're seeing it now.
That's all we see. Oh, okay, good. Go ahead, continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
terrific. I mean, that is awesome. Okay, everybody, so this evening I'll be speaking from my level 2 phase 3, which is based on understanding membership, and I'll be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. Ready? Okay, everybody, so like it is, we are talking about mentorship, and who better to think of as a mentor than one of the greatest men in music history for the past 3 years, for the past 30 to 40 years. So, you need a mentor? Then don't forget about Dre. See, Dre was a very unique individual. All the way from the very beginning, he had a very caring and respectful attitude towards the way how he treated his artists from the very beginning. From Eazy-E days, back when he was jump starting in WA. What did they do? They had to focus on similar goals, and the goal was to get out of the hood. And they also had to identify the needs to achieve their goal. And the need was for Eazy-E to be the front guy, because the kind of music they were portraying to get out of the hood, he was the only person actually living that lifestyle. And what did Dr. Dre do to help Eazy-E reach his goals and create albums like Easy Does It and Straight Outta Compton and jumpstart their careers in hip hop history? He stayed in the studio with Eazy-E for hours, for 2 days straight. Yes, the boys in the hood are always hard. Come talking the trash, we'll pull you. And if you don't know what it is, that's basically punching in line after line after line, because he was basically teaching Eazy how to rap. So you have to be a very respectful and caring person to have that level of patience, and that's why I say we should all be more Dre, and we should all hope to have a mentor like Dr. Dre, who was also very positive and supportive, like how he was with Snoop Dogg. Because directly after finishing his deal with Snoop Dogg, with Eazy-E, he trusted Snoop Dogg to not only write his debut album Doggy Style, but he also trusted him to write his very own debut album, The Chronic. And not only was he supportive and positive in terms of creativity, he was also very positive and supportive in terms of everything else Snoop Dogg did. Whether it be being an ambassador for weed or being in a commercial. He was, and even when they parted ways and Snoop Dogg left Dr. Dre's label, they still remain good friends, and Dr. Dre still mentors Snoop Dogg to this day. That's positive and supportive. And after being such a respectful and caring individual with a positive support system for everybody he was mentoring, he hit the jackpot and found somebody who made him incredibly rich. With experience and knowledge, he was able to mentor none other than the crazy guy himself, the blonde hair, Marshall Mathers. So through his experience and knowledge, he was able to guide Eminem with his personal experience and his wisdom and give informed perspective. Every time Eminem said something in the studio that was just a little bit too avant-garde, a little bit too cringe, a little bit too, you sure you want to talk about your mother like that, my brother? Are you sure? No, that's your wife. That's your wife. Come on, my guy. He's up. We're trying to sell records here. We're not trying to scare everybody. And he trusted them. He trusted his vision, he trusted his skills, and he trusted. In fact, I don't have the album on here, but Eminem also did a decent amount of writing in the Chronic 2001. In fact, he basically wrote Forgot About Dre. He did. So he used his experience and knowledge to coach one of actually the highest grossing, highest selling hip hop artists of all time. And even after all these years, he's still doing more. That is about 20 to 30 years into the game. And then to the 30-year mark, he's still incredibly committed and dependable. Now, I could not find any information about Kendrick Lamar and Dr. Dre's relationship. I just know that he found them and they stuck together ever since. In the same way how Dr. Dre kept that glue with Kendrick, he kept that same glue with just about everybody who he coached from ground up to the great artists and great people you see today. And notice, I have a little thing about coaching and mentorship, but that is a complete difference. Well, quite the difference. And for that, who better to give you that difference than a baseball coach like Anton Richardson, who's actually the Bahamian coach for the New York Mets right now. That's comparing to the mentorship of Dr. Dre. Now, goals. A baseball coach like Anton Richardson would coach you to catch a baseball or teach you how to aim properly so that you know how to throw from a very far distance accurately. Whereas Dr. Dre's goals, he's going to teach you how to do everything from being able to speak properly on the mic to being able to be a good PR person for yourself, to just about anything you want to do with your career. Basically, a coach is very one-dimensional goals, whereas a mentor is very multiverse. Equipment. Coaches tend to provide the equipment. They got the baseball bats, the gloves, the balls. They have everything. But a mentor like Dr. Dre, sure, he may have his own studio, but you can never really equip an artist. So he allows his artists to come with their own equipment, their own skills, and let them flourish along the way. Feedback. Now, feedback is similar to goals, whereas Anton Richardson would be very direct about the game, whereas Dr. Dre's feedback would mostly be about your career goals and your personal life. He would be basically, how can you help your career improve your personal life, and how can you help your personal life improve your career? And then there's involvement, past goals, and future, whereas basically Dr. Dre is kind of like your dad. in terms of involvement in tasks. And Dr. Dre would help you indulge in your future in other ways rather than just that one thing. Whereas everything else in the baseball coach, Anton Richardson, would just treat you as a baseball player. So that being said, that's basically the difference between a coach and a mentor. And I say, once again, if you need a mentor, don't forget about Dre. I hope we can all be a little bit more like Dre or meet somebody like Dr. Dre in our lives eventually. Thank you, Jefferson.
When you hear some shady, please stand up. Please stand up.
And Will Smith and I cousins rap to sell records. Well,
I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight, cleaning up my closet. See, now you got emblem in my head. I know what I'm gonna be cleaning the spot when I go home, but thank you for such a very insightful speech about mentoring. It gave us a nice insight about the life of Dr. Dre. At least the positive lifestyle of Dr. Dre. A very well-known figure. Thank you for such a wonderful PowerPoint presentation. Dun, 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 dun. It is now time for you to be judged. And the man who will be doing the judging, and I quote, is the judge's person of us all. End quote. Please help me in welcoming our general evaluator. A man who's the brightest from the others of all. A mentor to us all. Someone whose voice can go so high that he can break glass. A man whose talents, when it comes to the literature arts and the proper use of grammar, his ability to tear you apart while still trying to help you to get a better understanding of not the Queen's English, because in his words, the Queen does not have a language. And then he's going to say, the king is dead. So the king does not have a language. This man was so passionate about that. He does. He invests so much money and only asks that you continue to put your best foot forward. A man who has inspired so many Toastmasters, students, and random individuals on the UB compound who's trying to become Mr. UB. I'm speaking about a man who is sitting down front to my now. None other than the good, distinguished Toastmaster. And that's the
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a general evaluator. Thank you so much for having me. I want to move quickly in the interest of time. And of course, the role of the general evaluator is to assess the brilliance of the meeting. And I want to do this with you together. So please engage me, listen, learn, hear. I'm going to try and be as personable as possible to help you be better. Okay, and so here we go. Starting with our chairperson. Round of applause for our chairperson, Toastmaster Jones. Toastmaster Jones, you always have an energy that, I mean, just illuminates throughout the room. I want to challenge you in the future. Of course, the role of the chairperson is to engage the room with an atmosphere that allows the meeting to progress. As you do so, I want to encourage you, when you think of your activities and you think of how you're going to speak and what you're going to say, engage your transitions as well. So how are we going to move from activity to the next item, and then from the next item to activity, and then from the activity to the next item? Think of those. For a moment, you had left the room and you left us high and dry. And so we played Junkanoo music and High Man for about 2.5 minutes until you returned. Transitions are just as key with maintaining. So we can have the energy, but we need to maintain it. And so keep the flow. Okay, but other than that, I appreciated the activity on Junkanoo Trivia. Why not? And in the future, just make sure that your music has already been deposited to the desk of whoever's the Zoom coordinator. Thank you so much. Our thought and joke master, Toastmaster Walcott Sands. Round of applause for him. Toastmaster Sands. It is such a joy. And you get bonus points because you gave a humorous joke that I actually answered right. I feel so good about this. And so, wonderful joke. And you hit us with a solid response on a thought that we can continue with. I really appreciated it. And it was quick. It did not inundate the meeting, but it inserted what needed to be inserted, and you moved swiftly with it. Wonderful job. I look forward to seeing you at the lectern again. Thank you. Thank you. We move to the lexicologist, Toastmaster Johan Hutchinson. Round of applause for him. Toastmaster Hutchinson, you really had me stumped with your word. The role of the lexicologist is to introduce a new word that we might not have an idea of. And you did. I had no idea this was a word. And I appreciated you allowing us the opportunity to guess it through Hangman. Very unique, innovative, but simple means to engage everyone's attention. At the same time, getting us interested in the word. Phenomenal job. I think you do this at a very quotidian means. Happens daily, in my opinion. And so I love seeing you at the lectern. Honestly, I can't wait. I think you are just phenomenal at the lectern. I love it when you take the lectern. I can't wait to see you again. Thank you. Woo! We move to our table topics master, Toastmaster Kalyle Edwards. Round of applause for him. Did you tell him that?
Yes. My apologies. He did tell me to solve for. I just didn't have any idea.
Understood. Toastmaster Edwards, your table topic activities are always the most creative and unique. They are very unique and creative. I love that you always think out the box and you find ways to integrate the table topic, find ways to integrate the theme of the meeting. I want to encourage you. There are about 2 of your table topic responders who did not speak for at least a minute and did not give a full-fledged speech. They may have given 2 or 3 sentences. So when you see that, pose a sub-question that can get them to talk more, right? That might be of a little bit of an assistance. Also, when you're doing your questions, I don't know, it felt a little haphazard. Like you were thinking these up question after question after question. And that might not have been the case. And so it might just be an issue of flow. You may just want to work on getting ready to introduce the next question and however your means and your activity will work into it. There would always be, and just think about the follow-up. I wouldn't inundate it. Think about the follow-up. So once that person sits down, how are you going to get us back into get us back to being on the edge of our seats as we await the next question? What will make us and keep us interested? And so that will help with the transition. But the activity is always phenomenal. Thank you for bridging the gap and reminding us, or helping us think and reflect on the concept of Junkanoo. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. To our first speaker, Toastmaster Walcott Sands. Please allow me to grill you. Woo! Toastmaster Sands, and for both of our speakers, I would have sent you detailed points of praise and elements of improvement that you can focus on for your incoming speeches. And so you can look at them and speak to me afterwards. I will not take the full amount of time in the room. I just want to point out a few things. Toastmaster Walcott Sands, one thing about you, you're extremely knowledgeable. I love that you're able to take a concept and flesh it out. Really flesh it out. And I appreciated that you try to use a PowerPoint. I encourage that. Anything or any visual that allows us to engage with the concept more is a positive mark of a Toastmaster. And of course, you had strong volume in your vocality. I want to encourage you in the future that as you prepare, if you're going to use a PowerPoint, feel free to provide some and to utilize creativity. It's okay to add color. Specifically, since no one in here is over the age of 40. And so we don't need just a blank white PowerPoint with just words.
No.
Feel free to blast it in a way that we still see all of the information you need to share, but feel free to blast it with some color and creativity. We'd love that. As well as be wary of your, let me see if I'm using the right words. Right, be wary of announcing. And this is for everyone. Do not announce what you're going to do, for example. Or I recommend not announcing what you're going to do. This is something that I teach my public speaking students as well. So if you're coming up to speak on global warming, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to give a speech on global warming. That's announcing, right? First point is, second point is, third point is, that's announcing. And so announcements provide, think of 7 full stops for every time you announce. It stops your flow and it chops up the movement of your speech. Instead, we assert, so just say. So instead of announcing what you're going to speak on, come up with your creative introduction. Come up with your creative conclusion. Remember that the human mind has literally 8 seconds of, on average, of an attention span. So in the very first 8 seconds of your speech, you need to capture our attention in order to keep us for the full 5 to 7 minutes. What are you going to do? Are you just going to utter some words? Or are you going to pull a Daniel Jones or a President Flamingo or Flamalin? Thank you. Are you going to give us a startling quote? Are you going to blow our minds with a description of a fantastic scene? Or are you going to walk in the front of us and say something like an automatopoeia or repetition that we are familiar with, but that blows our minds and makes us interested in your concept? You understand? And so instead of announcing, assert, be creative and just say it. Just do it. Transitional words help. However, subsequently, additionally, they move your speech along. And so that's going to be a big help as you continue to engage us with your speeches. The last thing is to do not forget to embed your charisma. Embed it. For example, my charisma is to be a little bit more dramatic and expressive when I want to make or put a point across. Toastmaster Daniel Jones's charisma is for him to just be wacky. And Toastmaster Wildrian's charisma is to engage you with his talent, whether that's artistry or whether that's a painting, whether that's drawing something. Find your charisma and engage us with it. If your charisma is the brilliance of knowledge and being able to levy the inflections of your vocality, then bring that, right? But it needs to be something that's going to engage us, something that's going to keep us, and something that's going to say, I want to hear more. And so thank you for your presentation. I really appreciated it. I can't wait to see what you do again in the future. Toastmaster Edwards, please stand and be my next victim. Toastmaster Edwards, you presented, and your presentation gave us a very solidly done PowerPoint presentation. I did not see that coming. It was very, very nice and appealing to the eyes, and I applaud that. Wonderful job. It's amazing to me because I feel as though the term Toastmaster Encyclopedia has been taken up from Toastmaster Nelson Smith to you. You just know a lot. I don't know why, but I love learning from you. I really do enjoy it. Some things that can help us as you continue to teach us, because I learned so much and you write so well. And so I learned even more from a lot of brilliant literary quotes and linguistic sentences that you phrase, some things that can help us is, let me make sure I am reminding myself of these. Oh, yes. Okay, so definitely you want to find ways to teach us when something is new. When someone's presenting an unfamiliar topic, you want to make sure and remember to assume the ignorance of the audience. I have no idea who some of those artists were you referenced.
Really?
And I just was like, oh.
Okay, so
Sure,
I actually only named 4. Did you know at least 2 of them?
I knew Dr. Dre. And that's because, oh, yes, and Eminem, Dr. Dre and Eminem. And that's because there was there were like 2 people you referenced that I did not know. Yeah, I don't know that one. I don't know him. Pardon?
You don't know
Who's Kendrick Lamar?
I can understand Easy-E.
I don't know Easy-E. No, I know Snoop Dogg. I don't know Easy-E. I don't know Kendrick Lamar. Lamar, you said Lamar? I'm not familiar.
NWA, the group NWA.
NWA? No, what's that?
Do you know Ice Cube? The actor Ice Cube, or the rapper Ice Cube? No, we don't know. Okay, so anyways, my point is Easy was
The guy who acted in Always There Yet? That was that anyway? An Ice Cube?
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, my point.
Pause. Sorry. It's my type of speak.
Okay, so my point is Easy was the financier of the group. He was not supposed to rap, but Dr. Dre encouraged it because he was the only person in the group that actually lived the lifestyle of the music they were trying to sell, which was very gangster, very ghetto, very dangerous.
Oh.
So that's why I mentioned that in the beginning of my speech.
Okay.
Having more info, you didn't mention.
You did not say that. You did not say all of that.
Can we stay on track?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. However, what I'm saying is there will always be, and you have to consider that someone in your audience won't know what you're saying. And so always assume, I tell my students just for the sake of understanding, assume everyone in the room is 12 years old. They can understand you, but they might not have that acumen and knowledge that you have. So you have to present it as if they've never heard it. Toastmaster Will Dream was present last night when I presented at a speech competition as the test speaker in the evaluation speech contest. And I made a presentation on BEC, Bahamian English Creole. Automatically, everyone speaks it. But I can't assume that they would know what I'm talking about.
Most do not know.
Exactly. They were very lost. So I started my speech after my creative introduction, explaining to them what you speak. And so they learned that a Creole is a mixture of 2 languages in a contact situation. In other words,
the African language, and it was the British English.
Exactly. Yeah. And the contact situation was
Contact to a situation.
Yeah, how did they come together?
Because of the unfortunate transatlantic slave trade. Yes,
and he learned all of this last night.
You said this before.
No. But that's not the point. The point is that so many were able to learn exactly what he said from those are my exact words last night. Because I couldn't just start off by saying BEC.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks BEC, and then I continue my speech talking about how everyone speaks BEC, and everyone's looking at me like, but what's BEC? And so, do you get the scope? Always assume that someone, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop you. Okay. Always assume that someone in your audience does not know these terms or concepts that may be familiar and aware to you, but someone else might not know. If Toastmaster Daniel Jones is going to make a speech about RuPaul's Drag Race, he better come up here and explain what sashay away means. He can't just come up here and say sashay away and expect Toastmaster Johan Hutchinson to move. So always assume the understanding of your audience, that they know nothing. Explain it from the bottom up, always. And so thank you for that explanation. And I look forward to learning more about those artists. And so that's going to be a big help. And I want to encourage you as well that charisma, same thing I referenced with Toastmasters Sans, charisma. Find that uniqueness. I found that your speech was a little monotonous, right? And so keep that volume. Find ways to inflect. There are times, there was a point in your writing where it sounded like you was very excited to talk about Dr. Trey, I believe it was. I was making my own personal notes. But I didn't feel your excitement. I didn't feel the passion that you were saying. That was so amazing to have been by Dr. Trey. And so I wanted to feel that. So that passion, that charisma should not only come through with the writing of your words, but it should also come through in the presentation of the word, the volume and the vocality. So breathe that into it, right? And find unique ways to do that. Practice it, please. And I'm going to reference this to you and Toastmaster Santa in the back. Thank you. Practice this before you speak. Right? So a day or two before you speak, pull someone on the side, particularly Toastmaster Jones, because he has no life, and you're gonna go ahead and I love how Toastmaster Johnson is nodding. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But pull them on the side, pull them on a Zoom call, and do it as crazy as you can. And by crazy, I mean it's just step out of your comfort zone and do it and get their opinions. Right? And that's going to help when you come back here so that the presentation keeps us from start to finish. I hope that helps.
Why evaluations be harsh? That's what I don't know.
So you may want to call Toastmaster Miles instead. Rather bluff for Toastmaster Edwards. And so with that, is or are there any reports in the room? And by reports, I mean a timer, a grammarian, counter, those reporters in the room.
The town report is not right.
Say that.
That's my logo.
Say that. Toastmaster will treat. And so we don't.
I think they have like the speakers and stuff potentially.
So not a complete.
Yep, so that's no.
Okay, understood. And so our timer and our counter is not. That's it.
Everyone gets a pass.
Except
for the speakers. They went over that.
Understood. So both went beyond the 7 minutes, 30-second mark.
But a lot.
Okay, understood. So speakers for the record. As well as for the grammarian's report, I was taking a few notes.
Of course, you. I use quotation marks every time I come
Outside of the lexicology session, I believe I was the only one to have used the word of the day properly. Thank you, Toastmaster Mildred. Properly, but yes, Toastmaster Dino Jones did make a conscious effort, and I applaud that as well. Quotidian. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Quotidian.
Yes, no, I can eat that in my class instead of the PBI tomorrow.
And that has just been added to the roster. I gonna need that. For the sake of the theme, we will permit the use of Bahamian English Creole, Junkanoo. That's fine, no problem. And so with that, I encourage you, let's do our part, and I'm going to make this a personal request. Next week, Wednesday is what date, Mr. Vice President of Education? February 7th. Let us all make a conscious effort to bring one member, a guest into the room, right? Let's make a conscious effort to bring a guest into the room. Can we do that? Before I get your hand to Toastmaster's hands, can we do that? I'm going to bring at least one person into this room next week, Wednesday. Yes.
So you first.
Amen.
I got it.
The person who brings the most guests next week, there will be a prize for you from my own pocket.
I just gonna.
I
forget.
We, this is
You
a
realize
club.
a $20 bill, you'd have to bring 20 guests.
What I'm saying, like, don't forget.
I'll pray about it. I will pray about it. Toastmaster Miles, Toastmaster Edwards, Toastmaster Jones, Toastmaster Blue Dream. Can we agree to that settlement? We are going to purpose to bring at least one guest into the room next week. Can we do that? It can be a guest Toastmaster, someone on this campus, someone outside. It does not matter. Even if they
Who's
are
the people
virtual, let's bring them Wednesday, February 7th.
Is what?
The vice president will announce it when he comes up, but of course, they do. They do. And of course, I thank you so much, Toastmaster Turnquest and Dennis, for being on the virtual call. I'm gonna have my seat now. Let's continue to do our best to keep our time as the meeting progresses so that we can give our best each time. I look forward to greatness and I yield to our chairperson, Toastmaster Jones.
Who in the morning? Who in the morning?
Roots!
Who in the morning?
Roots! Did anyone in here actually rush?
Nope.
No.
You should rush.
I rushed on Boxing Day in my car on the way home.
All right.
It was a pleasure to be a chairperson, but of course, all the things was content and like this hairline.
Like your height.
Oh.
Leave my mentee alone.
Like your base.
You're aware of it.
My friend, I went nowhere.
First of all,
Honor of the day.
I must now yield the virtual and physical left turn over to our good Vice President of Education Committee member, who was here this morning.
Toastmaster Minutes, say good one. Thank you, Toastmaster Minutes.
Committee member, PTM, you know, PTM Williams.
Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. Again, our goal is to bring everyone to bring at least
one guest next week.
one guest next week, February 7th. There will be food as well. Let's try and bring and engage individuals with the brilliance that is visionaries. Next week's meeting theme is phonics. Oh, that's the grammar meeting. Oh, my apologies. Oh, it's gonna be a fun meeting. I know you can't wait. So make sure you come with a phone or a tablet. Internet is present. We will be engaging in the brilliance that is linguistics. Thank you so much. And I yield, Mr. Vice President of Education, anything to say? Sorry.
You're the education representative.
I know, I'm just asking if, did you want me to reference anything? Okay. So with that, our education session is closed and I return the lectern or the authority of the lectern to the President Toastmaster Flamel.
Okay. Wait, let me prepare for the
So it's just people.
What? Wait, I would have done.
I opened that door weeks ago.
Yeah. You get your bag. You want
Stop the
to
pizza.
pay Postmasters to get past and off. And a very
Order of the day.
Order of the day. All right. If you enjoyed today's video, let me hear you make some noise. Mr. Turnquest, that includes you as well. TM Turnquest. Hey. As always, thank you all for coming out. It surely was a pleasure. For those of you who joined us on the Zoom platform, thank you for using your good cable boundless Wi-Fi phone, and except for you, Korean Minutes. TM Minutes. That's BTC, but
The shit.
you're good. Wi-Fi to spend this time with us. But of course, we must close with announcements. Any announcement, anything exciting worth sharing? Of course, we are going into the great month of single people. Recognize. We are not
Thank you
familiar.
very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Chairperson?
Chairperson.
President.
No, same thing.
No,
Chairperson.
not mine. Come on.
Oh,
no.
I was trying to remember the word we described that market. What the word is we described it as that the last meeting? What the word?
Stay on A.
We're going to word it.
Anomalous.
Yes.
Anomalous.
No, we're being organized.
Well then,
I'd like to encourage everyone to come with the open airs on Friday.
I attended last week.
I don't. Come back. Come, because I was at a pageant practice. Thank you very much. Anyway,
Sorry, my bad, sorry.
I like everyone to come out. Our theme this week is, I think it's fitness.
Yeah, it is fitness.
It's fitness. So
Comes, that's right.
I don't think I need to talk, but yeah, the theme is fitness, and we are, and I think it goes governor. We shower too. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah.
I said it must be.
Following me. Probably.
No, that's the most important question.
Hold on. Not baby shower food, but are you popping ball?
I don't know.
That's
That's
baby
a
shower
okay,
food.
Even if you go to baby shower.
The four of our young ladies are pregnant.
Prego.
You
I have another question.
And
No.
no. But his girlfriend, they kill him. And
He's a virgin.
order today.
Okay, no, to tell my business soon as
We already.
I mean, I'm not scared of it, but you want to call my business. Stop.
Order today. We need to close.
Anyway, also,
You want that?
yes.
What's fine?
You know what's so good is 8:37.
I'm officially in the budget. Beyond our 42. It was a long day, but
Oral shoe?
Would you help
You
me?
pull some more yet?
I can't wait to see what you wore.
everyone kind of want to see him.
I'm pretty sure it looks better on you though.
Yeah, obviously, the stuff was supposed to come with tomorrow, but I didn't put it tomorrow. Because what happened was another guy who was doing it, he wasn't there on Sunday, so they had to shoot himself separate. I know how they gonna cut him into the wire. I would have just asked him.
Amen.
But hey, that's statewide.
I'm
We
gonna
look
Yeah.
forward to supporting you, if not financially, if not in person.
Oh, no, hey,
in
that's it.
spiritual.
we can block him.
I gotta buy the box.
I mean, that person.
But yeah,
I cannot support anyone financially until.
You get the point.
after last week. All right, any more announcements? Zoom audience. Wonderful presentations, good evening, Toastmasters. Thank you. She's gone. 10 minutes. You have anything you would like to share?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, you should be hearing from me between tonight and tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Announcements going once, right? I want to share. Announcements going twice. So, I guess on announcement, I'm gonna let our good Vice President of Education officially announce the persons representing us in the area competition.
I never said that.
He is gonna do it. Stop, let's do it.
I literally never said that.
Don't be like, don't be like.
Appreciate notes. I'm gonna let him appreciate notes. Recognize.
I don't know what you're announcing. There is an event for February 10th. Which is the thing concept. More pictures will be posted by TM Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And more pictures posted before that. And the winners for our speech competition. Which I remember. For general evaluation. Is TM Shirley Thompson. I think on topics is TM Edwards. The grammar speech is TM Johan Hutchinson. These Toastmasters will represent us in our area competition. Yes.
On February 29th.
Virtually, so be there. Just be there. That's it.
Amen.
And support.
Amen. Can I, point of inquiry, Mr. President? Can the good area director remind us what all clubs are in our area, please?
Yeah, Obama, you can.
The mic has been dropped.
We have Bama, Limitless, we have San Salvador Explorers, we have Achievers of Excellence, and we have Dynamic Persuaders. Yeah. Right, yeah, all over. Yeah.
Yes, against for.
Alright,
Yeah,
this should be interesting, made of all three now.
Both San Salvador and Bahama are newer clubs. So I don't know what they're gonna bring, but I'm intrigued.
Alright.
Yeah, they stuff right now. I'm gonna.
On who?
Bama, yeah, Bama, yeah, you put out that,
They don't have like consistency like.
it ain't start solid. So like, yeah, members in there.
They have a coach.
They have a coach, yeah. But yeah, it's a little complicated.
Understood, Mr. Eddie. Back to you, Mr. President.
Assembly.
Assimilate them into what?
Limited visionary.
Well, what happened to Visionaries Avengers?
No, maybe on the bottom, like on the official bottom, limitless.
Why Avengers? What?
That name was given to us by a past speaker. A guest speaker who came here.
But
I can't remember, but
Yeah.
Toastmaster Duvalier, when that speaker said it, he jumped on it and just changed the name of in the WhatsApp group to Visionaries Avengers.
I know.
That very night, and it's never changed since.
but now Johan changed it.
No, I.
Think about it, he was present when he did that, right?
I think he may have been president. That's correct.
He was present when he did
You're
that.
correct. You're correct.
Anyways, I forgot this one, to say, but such a slide, announce, anyone announcements? Announcements going once. Announcements going twice, so. Close.
Mr. President, if I may. Oh, go ahead, Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for acknowledging me. I, distinguished Toastmaster Nestor G. Williams, move that we adjourn this meeting of Visionaries 754 until next week, Wednesday, February 7th, where everyone has been tasked to bring at least one member and provide some females for Toastmaster Hutchinson to look at Gorgat. There you go, Mr. President.
Amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
I said.
No, but we get so long.
Oh, get some females to pursue.
I feel more than time.
Hold on, I try to second the motion.
Yeah, and they consider you one of them.
Call to order.
I am welcome to second the wonderful motion presented by IDP.
Alright, it has been moved and seconded by the distinguished Toastmaster Nestor G. Williams and Toastmaster Walcott Sons. Can we now put this to our votes? All opposed, please lift your left hand at this time. Or react on the Zoom call. Opposed.
You want to start with all four.
All in favor, react and or lift your left hand.
My left, right? Yeah, that's left. There you go.
Let the record show that it has been moved and probably seconded with all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting of Visionary 754 at 8:45 p.m. until next. Oh, there's pizza in the box.
How about that? Wow, I didn't notice. Oh, was it something to like chicken?
We have, hey, we always take the chips. Chips are always welcome.
It's a bit early, I don't like.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Hi, beloved. How are you?
Yeah.
How was it?
Let me hear the video.
Okay.
Hi, DTM. Connect with